Economic Advisory Council member and professor of economics at the Paul Merage School of Business at the University of California, Irvine, Peter Navarro. This is stunning, Professor. I mean, he's offering Republicans what is orthodoxy to many GOP. Lower taxes, deregulation, some very original ideas. Some of it is reflective, certainly, of populist things like cutting millions of poorer people off the payrolls entirely when it comes to taxes. That would be popular, but now you have people saying on the Republican side, cut him off from funding. This is not a party that is coming together at all.
Well, it's a party that's being reformed just as the Democratic Party is being reformed. What's been going on in the past, Obama, Clinton, not working. I think, Liz, the story for me today is this sharp contrast between Hillary Clinton's vision of kind of a Robin Hood, old deal Keynesianism, where you basically tax the middle class and businesses and the rich in order to spend a bunch of money through the government, versus Trump's 21st century style Reaganism, where you hit 4 points of the policy compass: energy, taxes, trade, regulation, to basically double our growth rate, generate millions of jobs, and trillions of dollars of tax revenues to pay for the tax cuts.
Let's counter.
See, that's the vision. That's my story.
Okay.
And
I'm thrilled you're here,
where we want to be focused
what
here.
I want you to do, Professor, is counter what she said during the speech, and we just heard that soundbite where she said, citing certain studies, that his would cause job losses. What I'd love to hear from you is, he wants to not raise the minimum wage, leave it up to states, which a lot of people would agree with because certain states have different requirements. But what is Donald Trump's plan for creating quality jobs? And that's why we're here. We really want to hear that from you.
Well, let's start with some quality journalism. I mean, what she basically did was she used a study by a guy named Mark Zandi. She didn't name him, and she
used to
claimed
be with
he was
McCain, but he's donated to her campaign.
Well, he had a cup of coffee with McCain. Nobody ever says he was a major advisor. They create this illusion. They've been playing this game for 8 years now. Obama always trots this guy out.
Okay, but let's get to the jobs.
He's a major donor to the... Yeah, well, the jobs. What's going to happen with Clinton is we're going to have massive tax increases, a government-run type of Keynesian-style policy, and we're not going to deal with the trade issue. What Donald Trump's going to do is basically double our GDP growth rate, create millions more jobs, and the analysis that she's quoting, what I call in economics, it's garbage in, garbage out. I mean, this guy made a bunch of false assumptions about tax policy, trade policy, and immigration, and came up with gloom and doom for Trump and roses for Clinton. It's silly. I mean, it's bad economics, it's bad statistics,
he got big
but it's good politics.
He got big applause today speaking to the National Association of Home Builders because he really struck an important tone. A lot of home builders are not big businesses. There are a couple of massive home builders. We could show them on the screen. But he certainly was speaking to a lot of the smaller home builders around America, and he was saying, let me take the regulation off. Let me let you build these homes. And yet he also held up, and the home builders are doing decently today, not skyrocketing, but they're all up nearly 1% here. But he also said home ownership is very low right now. Well, wasn't a high level of home ownership what got us into trouble in the first place, because people were extending themselves? Home ownership, I'm sure you would agree, is not a right, but it's a privilege, certainly. We don't want people owning homes who cannot afford to own them.
Liz, what we want in this country is a restoration of our historic growth rates of 3.5% to 4%. We haven't had that since 2002. What happened then? Hillary and Bill Clinton got China into the World Trade Organization. They flooded our markets. We lost 70,000 factories. We got over 20 million people unemployed, and our wages have not gone up. They've even gone down a little bit, so people can't afford to buy homes. So what we need to do is have watch these competing visions. You want old deal Robin Hood Keynesianism, which hasn't worked for the last 8 years of the Obama administration.
Keynesianism is big government spending. He wants to do government
John
spending.
Maynard Keynes. He's the guy that got us out of the Great Depression by spending a bunch of government.
His infrastructure plan that he articulated here on Fox Business was nearly double what Hillary wants to do. But before we let you go, you're a UC Irvine professor. I'm a proud graduate of the UC system because it was affordable for my family. We had 5 kids. 4 of us went through the UC system.
Which campus?
Which one didn't I go to? UC Berkeley, Santa Cruz, and then summer school at UCLA. I don't like moss
Perfect.
growing underneath my feet.
The hat trick.
Exactly. I jump around a lot. I miss Davis and Irvine. But listen, you're a college professor. She talked about debt-free college. Does he have a plan for lifting the burden of student loan debt? Because that has created indentured servants here in the United States. It's something that we feel here at Fox Business the whole world is buckling under.
Sure. And the bigger problem that I see is this disconnect between the education our students have and the opportunity. I have a stepson that just graduated with a physics degree, and he can't find a job. That's something wrong with our economy.
Absolutely.
So I'm more concerned with putting our young people to work. There was a reason why a lot of the young people were going for Bernie Sanders. It wasn't just because they wouldn't, get free college. It's because they want jobs when they get out. And that's what Donald Trump offers. We can go Robin Hood, old deal Keynesian with Hillary Clinton. Right. We can go 21st century Reaganism with Donald Trump. Okay. You decide.
I decide. I do not want kids leaving college with huge debt on their shoulders. It's so depressing.
I agree.
Professor, thank you. Thank you for the good work you're doing at UC Irvine.
My pleasure.
Peter Navarro is a member of Donald Trump's Economic Advisory Council. Okay,